cabin.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Well, welcome back. It's Thursday, and it's content day, and it is a cool, mild, overcast day. Yeah, it's and it just started sprinkling. I got some nice hot coffee, and we're going to do some conversations, and yeah, I'm going to chew the old rag. Not much to report or show off today. I will show you, though, I did get a clear globe for the Pauls. It did come. Isn't that beautiful? See, this is Paul's Leader. And you might be able to pick it up a little bit, but it has a little bit of a bluish Coke bottle tint to that globe. But anyways, it's beautiful. I got it from fellow collector. That'd be Patrick McLean. He's got a gorgeous collection of things. I've bought a few things from him, and good stuff. Always good stuff. Never junk. Nothing. No complaints at all. He sells some nice things. I think, yeah, it was actually him that I won the auction. He was selling that CT Ham 00 little D-tube guy, and I got that from him off of eBay. But he had one of these globes up for sale, and I was asking him, you know, some questions about it, and he says, hey, don't worry, if you don't win this one, I have more. So I hit him up privately on the group and worked out a good deal for this globe. It was very, very fair, I thought. Anyways, it's a nice nice strong cast, and it's got the Coke bottle green color to it. Those on Facebook have already seen it and have commented on it. But anyways, got a little pipe action with my coffee, and burning my little candle here. Oh yeah, that's very nice. It's not very early in the day, but well, it's early in the day, but not early in the morning. Having a little EMP, early morning pipe in my dunny, you know. Yes, sir. A little coffee, and you know, we're doing it. Now, I guess you guys are also wondering when am I going to put up a lantern to sell. This weekend I will be going through the stuff. I've been kind of busy. Still acclimating and getting back into the full swing of things since the long trip, the 2-week trip. So, and I know if you guys are probably wondering when the Paris video will come out. I will start working on it this weekend. I've been very busy and have had not a real chance to get into it. But anyways, I do have all the photos and all the videos, and all they have to do is be assembled and, you know, massaged and put some music to some certain clips. But anyways, that will happen, so just keep your eyes open for that on the Mr. and Mrs. Smith channel. Yeah. But nothing else is really happening. Had a nice Memorial Day weekend, very low-key, nothing crazy. It was very calm, and we just laid low. And we did do some barbecuing on Sunday night, but that was that. Nothing special. Okay. I guess I wasn't nursing this enough. Anyways, we got fire. We got fire. We had fire. It's nice to have a candle there so I can reuse spent matches, so I'm not just constantly striking new matches, you know. It's actually kind of smart, you know. You use the same, well, a dead match just with the candle. Yeah. Yeah, uses more what's wasted. Anyway, not much else is going on. You did see the title card. You're probably curious what that's all about. Yeah. Well, Adventures in Vintage Bathroom Appliances. Yeah. Probably thinking, geez, what's going on with your toilet? Why don't you get a new one? Well, no, not going to get a new one. We've actually made it very well known that we like the 1947 standard that's in the bathroom. It is a wonderful piece of porcelain. It is. And when we first moved in there, it did back up and everything, but, you know, fast forward about 10 years, come to find out, it wasn't the toilet's fault, it was the plumbing. The central cast iron main sewage pipe was completely rusted away, and that's what was causing it to back up, because it wasn't flowing smooth. It was, you know, you get it. You have to have a smooth pipe for things to go out to sea, if you know what I'm saying. Anyways, most of the time it's usually going to be your plumbing, not the appliance. Just saying. Say, oh, well, this is not flushing right. It's the toilet. It's old. It's not going to work well. No. Because at one time they worked fine. The plumbing will go south. But anyways, we're not talking about the plumbing in this video. We're talking about the function in the tank. So in these classic toilets, they have a drainage, you know, thing with a little rubber flapper, I guess you could call it. It's a little plug that opens and shuts. That's how you get the water to drain from the tank to cause it to flush. Anyways, there's the handle has a chain that connects to it, right? Very simple, very basic, okay? Well, the chain kept falling off of the rubber stopper. And I'm like, well, this isn't going to happen. This isn't going to work. This is not good. So last night, before I got all cozied out on the couch with the TV and everything, I needed to see a man about a horse, right? Well, I went to flush it and it was like clink, clank, clink, and the chain was off of the flapper. All right. What do? Take the lid off. I turn the light on, take the lid off. I already had the light on. What am I talking about? Anyways, don't mind me. Anyway, so I took the lid off, okay? And I turned the water off and I drained the tank, right? I flushed it once and everything's fine. Well, I kept the water off so I could take the flapper off, okay? So I took the flapper off, I'm looking at it, and there's a hole in this, there's a little ridge, okay, and there's a hole. And there was a piece of metal, very thin, well, not thin, it's like a piece of wire, it's like a paper clip, okay, like a strung out paper clip. And it was bent around so it would hold the chain, so you could attach it to the flapper. Very, very basic, very simple, right? So, I'm like, all right, I'm going to attach this chain, and then I'm going to put an extra bend in that piece of metal so the chain won't come off. Simple. Put it all back together. Turn the water back on, filled up the tank, flushed it a couple times, made sure it worked. It was working just fine, right? Well, it's my day off, so I'm not getting up early. You know, Ashley gets up early to get ready for work because she works today on Thursdays. So, you know, I get up a little later to go to the bathroom because that's what you need to do every morning, right? Most of us, I guess. You get up and you need to do business. So I did. Clank, 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 not attached. Judas Priest. You know, I'm like, are you serious? I fixed this last night. I fixed it. I made double sure that chain was not going to come off. Right. So, I take the tank lid off again. And I turn the water off again. And I look at the end of the chain, and it's off naturally, and then I take the flapper off because it's on a little hinge, right? So it's just on two edges of a pivot point, and you just can slide it right off. I'm looking at this thing, and the piece of paper clip or wire that was on it is completely gone. Completely gone. It's missing. There's no trace of it. No trace of it. It was through the rubber completely. It went through a piece of rubber on the there's a top ridge, you know, that goes to the top, the plug part. Anyways, it's like a triangle part, and it's like got a high ridge, and it attaches to the actual plug, right? So there was a hole through that, and it was the metal was completely through that and looped several times. It was bent around. There's no way that could have been taken off unless it was removed by somebody. It's not going to do it by itself in the water. No, I don't know. Anyways, so I'm like, what the heck? So I asked Ashley, and she's like, I don't know. When I went to use it this morning, it was not working. It was just, detached again.
Oh.
So I did it a couple times the night before, last night, and it just detached itself. It's weird. I don't know. I'm just really kind of at a loss for words. She doesn't know what's going on, and I don't know how that could happen. It's a puzzle. I mean, yeah. Now, it does not want to stay lit, even though it's dry. The bird's laughing at me. Anyway, so I'm just like, okay, I'm too tired. I'm not even fully awake. I have had none of this. And I'm like, whatever. I'll figure it out later. So I'll go back to bed a little bit, and I get up and I sit down on the couch and I'm drinking coffee, and I'm just like, what is going on with this thing? Now, we've had some indication that there is, something about our apartment. Excuse me for a second. Sorry. There's some things about our apartment that have manifest themselves in the paranormal department. Now, I know some of my subscribers are on board with that idea, and some of you are not. For those who are not, hear me out. And I will trust you not to make your opinions known in the comment section. If you do, I will ignore them anyways, because I know what I experienced. And there's really no explanation. Every night, there is a sound that happens on the threshold of the front door. It sounds like someone is stepping on the metal threshold. It's a kind of a corrugated plate held in with 4 screws, right? A typical 1940s threshold. That flame is dancing sometimes. Did you notice that? Anyway, there's no wind out here. So, the door's closed. We close the door because it gets chilly outside, so we close the door, keep it locked and everything when we tuck ourselves in for the night and start watching TV. Around 9:30, it happens. I hear a creak. The sound of pressure being applied to that threshold, like someone's stepping on it. Someone heavy is stepping on it. Okay? And for the longest time, I just excused it as pressure changing, temperature changing, and it's making noise, right? And that's a plausible, rational explanation why it does that. But this is 9 o'clock at night. And right now, since last year, it's been very cool. It's been very mild. And the temperatures have only fluctuated by a couple degrees after the sun goes down. Barely anything. Yeah. I know old houses creak. Old structures have sounds that are kind of, just things settling, right? Well, this house is on a concrete foundation. And it's a concrete slab that has parquet wood underneath the carpet. So there's really no way for most things to creak and, sag. There's no suspended wood floor like a 1920s house, right? It's a 1940s apartment. Anyhow, I've looked into this. I've done my research. I've investigated. But this sound happens around the same time every night. And then after Ashley goes to sleep, it happens again when I'm on the couch watching TV. And listen to this. So when we had Abigail, and also before Abigail, we had Chauncey. They would be hanging out on the couch with me. And, see, they hung out on the couch with me. And then they would sit up and do this and look around. And they would look to the corner where the door is, where the front door is. So they would look right into the corner where the hinges of the front door are. And they would fixate on that corner. And they would and then slowly track whatever away from that corner. Yeah. Now dogs it's known dogs can see things that are not visible by the human eye. So I don't know. I have no explanation for that sound or why our dogs did that. There was times where they would get up and get off the couch and go into the bedroom because they felt uncomfortable in the living room, and they would sleep with Ashley, or they would start off the night in the bedroom and then come out to see me and then spend the night on the couch with me. They did both. So, but anyways, yeah. So we have reason to believe that there is a spirit that resides in that apartment. Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, we haven't decided. We don't know if the energy that is manifesting itself to a degree is benevolent or malevolent. Yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think it's. I think it's something that's just kind of reoccurring, like a tape or a video or something. Just kind of like something that happened at one time and it just keeps repeating itself. You know, I haven't done too much digging into the paranormal, which I don't really want to do. I don't want to give whatever's there the attention that it probably wants. But we have saged the apartment several times since we bought a chair back in 2013 or whatever it was. That did scare the dog. That did cause issues, and now we don't have the chair anymore. And that chair definitely caused issues with my brother's roommate because we let him store the chair for us when we couldn't keep it anymore. And he kept it in a spare room where he had a friend that was staying with him. And it caused some weird, interesting personality changes. So whatever you want to believe, that's up to you. But some things are interesting there. Yeah. Do I feel unsafe or uncomfortable in our apartment? Not at all. I feel fine. It's just little sounds that occur late at night at specific times. You could almost set your watch to it. It's interesting. But I ignore it. I felt some weird energy out here late at night. I'll work on a project late at night during the summer because it's nice outside, and I'll be out here in the garage just tooling around. Sometimes if I can't sleep and I'm awake, I'll be out here. And sometimes I feel fine, and sometimes I feel like I'm not fine, like something's watching me. Because there's a lot of old things in this garage, and it's an old garage. It is an old garage. It's from the 40s, and so is my car, and so is practically everything in here. 40s and earlier. People have said, well, do things attach themselves to objects? Does spirits attach themselves to objects? Well, you can say yay or nay. You could say, yeah, I could see that. Or you could say, well, why would it? It's an inanimate object. Well, yeah. You notice that? True, it's an inanimate object. It's just a thing. Why would a spirit attach itself to a thing? Well, with a car, yeah, people have had haunted cars. Not like Christine, but, you know, some cars have had a personality and, you know, certain things that happen with them. It's kind of weird. But, you know, people loved their cars. Back in the 30s and 40s, 50s, whatever, having a car was kind of a major achievement for a lot of families. It really was. It was a special thing, and the family car was part of the family. Just kind of like a dog. The car took the family to where they needed to be. You know, the teenagers would borrow the car for a date or whatever. So it was an integral part of the experience in the American family, and or whatever. But owning a car was freedom. It was liberation from walking and taking more time to get to where you wanted to be. So it was very convenient. And a car, people love their cars, especially in this country. People love their cars, especially in California. It really is. It's a car culture. It really, really is. And it really kind of boomed here in this state. But I've experienced some interesting things with the Dodge. Sometimes I'll pull over and have a smoke late at night, going for an evening drive, playing some nice old music, you know, and then I'll get the feeling that comes over me, like I'm not in my time anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like I am in the era of that car for a moment, and like everything just kind of falls into place, and you're in an area that's kind of unchanged, and there's not a lot of modern cars parked around, and you really kind of get that feeling. You kind of transport yourself a little bit, but you can sit in that environment and not feel like you're in the era, but you can kind of get an idea. But sometimes energy has been kind of thick, and the car seems to be happier and kind of like trying to share its history with me. It's interesting. I can't really explain it. I know I sound crazy. But I think when you get certain elements all together, it kind of sets a table. Not like I'm trying to conjure anything. No, I don't do that. But yeah, you know, we're dealing with items that are 80 plus years old, and you know, there's some unexplained things about whatever's after this life, what's beyond this life, or whatever. I mean, it's really open for debate. It really kind of is. I'm not trying to persuade anyone into any decision or form of belief, but there's things that we can't explain, pure and simple. There really just is. And when you like old stuff, you know, at one time it was important to somebody. You know, it was important to somebody at one time, and it probably still is wherever they are now. And yeah, I mean, I do believe that after this life, we do take our wants and desires and tastes beyond. I think the spirit does still maintain its conscious self in a way. But yeah, it's an interesting discussion to have for another day for sure. But I mean, this channel's really not for paranormal focus, but it's fun to touch upon it and maybe talk about it a little bit here and there. But you know, it's the Time Cave. We talk about a lot of different things out here, not just antique lanterns, even though that's kind of the staple, that's the main focus. But we talk about things. We just kind of, you know, I share things with you guys, and I guess you guys enjoy hearing these things. I think so. I've been told so anyways by a few of you guys. So, anyway. Coffee's good. I love it. Anyways, hope everyone had a nice weekend. Hope you've had a nice week so far. And, yeah, I know we've been very quiet on the Mr. and Mrs. Smith channel. Like I've explained, that we're still trying to get back into our groove. And just trying to settle back in. It was a wonderful trip, a great trip, but it definitely threw us off of our normal, regular, weekly thing. So we'll get back to you guys with a update video, hopefully Sunday, and then we'll go from there. All right, everybody? Sound good? Cool. Keep subscribing. Keep liking. Keep sharing. Sorry, I got a little bit of a allergies. But anyways, we'll see you guys again next week. Maybe with something new to share. You never know. All right. Stay tuned, and we'll see you guys again soon. Bye-bye.